Hey gang, what's up? So I often get questions about tarot decks and like understanding them. Since I'm kind of new to this, I thought that we could go over it together. And I often get asked about psychic gifts. So what type of gift you have, or what's the meaning behind the different gifts. So I got a tarot deck that I use that I like. I like oracle decks and things that are to that nature. So I got the Psychic Tarot Oracle deck, and this book is by a guy named Jhon Holland. And I like this deck. It came in this box. I'm gonna go over it with you guys. Some of the key points that I find useful to me that help me. Like when you're learning about your gift and like different things, it helps to understand the cards and their structure and like what the meanings are behind them. So you got in a deck, it'd be major arcana cards and minor arcana cards to a tarot deck. But this deck also has in it different chakra cards that got to do with like, what's going on with you and how your energy is. So the major arcana cards would include 22 cards, the number from 0 to 21 in this deck. They represent the main themes or spiritual lessons that are playing out in your life, or the life of the person that that's being read at the moment, or the time frame that's being discussed. These cards contain strong archetypal figures, yet some of them are meant to depict the qualities of an individual. So you have to note that the cards start from 0 and they go up to 21. The only cards that are number 0 in the deck, like the circular shape of a 0, symbolize the life is like a never-ending journey. That's for this deck. And the minor arcana cards are composed of 36 cards that are divided into 4 categories: physical, emotional, mental, and spirit. Each section has 9 cards. They're numbered in this deck 1 to 9. They represent daily life, which describes how an individual reacts to certain situations, emotions that are involved with it, what's currently happening in a person's life, or the time period in the question. These cards are helpful giving direction of how to proceed and move forward. So I kind of explain like what's going on with the question you ask with the person. So remember, the minor cards is going to like represent what's going on in the individual situation, what their emotional state of mind is, and what's happening at the time. The major arcana cards will represent the main theme or the lessons or the questions you ask about the person, individual, at the time, or whatever's happening. The physical cards in this deck, I have a red border, and they represent business, finance, money, prosperity, earthly possessions, material gain or loss, and security. The emotional cards in this deck have a green border. They represent the heart, the feelings, desires, the emotions, and the joy. And the mental cards have an indigo border, and they represent the communicating thoughts, ideals, intellect, and the workings of the mind, as well as obstacles and difficult decisions and power. And the spiritual cards in this deck have a violet border, and they represent the spark of life, the inspiration, the spiritual force, and the principles, aspirations, and the willpower and the passion. The chakra cards are energy centers of the body. It often refers to them as spiritual batteries. Chakra word meaning the wheel or anatomy is complex piece of engineering served by a network of etheric wiring through which energy flows. The chakras are organized centers that act as both reception and transmission points. Psychic information, life energies, which are essential for the well-being of our body, mind, and spiritual development. Although there are many of these points throughout the body, this deck has focused on the main 7 chakras. I like this deck. The way it shows you what border means what minor means what, how the spirit has a violet border, how the mental has an indigo, emotions are green and physical is red. That's a good way. Like if you're not really familiar with, the tarot or how different things work, it's good to have a deck that's like kind of self-explanatory or easy to follow. If one of the chakra cards is drawn, it's a reminder to be aware of that particular energy center and the qualities that are represented, and apply that information according to the reading. You may well want to ask yourself if this chakra is being affected and what's going on in your life or whoever you asked about. So when you get started, you want to first acquire your cards. Be familiar with them. Look at each one of the cards. We're going to look at the cards. Know what what the meaning of the cards are. And be familiar with your deck. Some people wrap their cards in silk. Others find beautiful box when they can store and then have them safely. Being familiar with your cards starts off by looking at each card one by one. It's a whole process of making the cards personal for you. Put your energy into the cards. You're getting to know them as much as they're getting to know you. It works both ways. You want to read your entire guidebook. It's okay to review it several times in order for you to know directions and meanings to blend and become stored in your memory. Once you're confident with it, put this booklet in a safe place and hopefully you won't need it again. I don't want you to be dependent upon the instruction manual. Now you're ready to be and interpret your cards your own way. Each card represents something that's specific to you. And it's up to you how to refer the meaning according to each reading you do or according to the person that you're giving the reading for. When you're ready, you take your cards out, you hold them in your hand, close your eyes and you center yourself. You take deep breaths and you clear your mind. Open your energy centers. Imagine pure white light running through you. From the top of your head to the bottom of your feet. You'll shuffle your cards and then put your energy into it. Have the person who is about to receive the reading, you can have them shuffle it as well. Always ask for the white light of God to direct me, the angels that guide me. I ask for the applicant Orishas who instill me with power to lead me. For my mind to be covered with a gold shield of deflection and a fiery wall of protection. For those that are hearing a message, the ones I'm giving a message for my family, so that anything that comes against us or we will be protected from. We'll be protected from anything that might try to interfere with the reading. So you'll ask your specific question. You just let your cards tell and express to you what's going on. You can cut the deck in whatever way you want, or you can instruct the individual if you want to for them to cut the deck. Then you lay your cards. So you open yourself to your cards. They're meant to tell a story. And they're meant for you to tell a story in your own language. So release your imagination and you allow them to speak. Trust your intuition. But please know, when you receive the answer, give that answer. Don't change the answer if it's not what you're hoping for. Don't keep drawing cards until you get the response you want. This is the law of divination. You may not get what you want, but you will get what you need. This deck isn't meant for reverse interpretation of this particular deck, and I don't read reverse in any. I usually don't read reverse in any deck. So when one is inverted, just know that it's not meant to be. Like if it comes up inverted. The purpose of Psychic Tarot Oral Deck is to create positive experiences, not to reflect or heighten negative meanings, rather to aim to give you guidance so you can gain and look ahead and make the proper changes that will lead to a beneficial outcome for your highest good. I want to tell y'all too, in this deck, It kind of tell you what the different psychic different psychic definitions. So people always ask me, what are you? Are you intuitive? Are you a medium? Are you a psychic? Or, when you develop in psychic, you kind of want to know, like, what is it what do I have? So this is what you can do to develop your psychic development. We are all born with psychic abilities. For each and every one of us develop in our own way, in our own time, and we receive psychic intuitive information in many different aspects. Everyone has more psychic strengths. Everyone has one or more psychic strengths. Some of us feel clear. I never heard this. Clear sentence. Clear sentence. Others hear, and that means clear audience. Some of us see, and that's clairvoyance. Each of these correspond to a specific chakra when it comes to receiving psychic information when conducting a reading. Notice if you're feeling, hearing, or seeing something that may not be coming directly from the cards, but in fact emanating from your psychic self. Share that information to see if you're on target. Once it's been validated, you'll quickly learn to trust, and that is better to give when you receive that information. The knowledge is correct. Don't worry if you're wrong at first, but continue to study your ability and it will grow stronger and stronger. Also, when developing psychically, I highly recommend that you practice different meditation techniques to still your mind, to silence your mind of chatter. Often answers aren't always found on the outside, but are discovered from within. Intuitive guidance can be yours when you learn to quiet your mind. Try doing this at least 15 minutes a day for once a week. You'll notice that your conscious thoughts become quieter, creating a space for intuitive and psychic guidance to flow. Also, by meditating regularly, you find all areas in your life will benefit. Here are just a few simple ways to build your extrasensory abilities, depending on where your strength lies. For more detailed psychic development and education, information techniques, please refer to this book, Psychic Navigating, Harnessing Your Inner Guidance, and that's by Jhon Holland, and that's Psychic Navigator, Harnessing Your Inner Guidance. So clear sentience, inner feeling. We all have inner sense of knowing, is that gut feeling. Have you ever met someone you have instantly known whether or not you're going to like this person? Have you had a strong feeling of an inexplicable knowledge about something that you didn't follow, only for it to be proven correct? Next time you're about to make a decision, stop for a moment. Ask yourself, how do I feel about this decision? Does it feel positive or negative, and why? By following your intuition, you will be guided toward making better choices. Clear audience, inner hearing. Do you know what others are thinking? Do songs suddenly pop in your mind? This is known as inner hearing. At first it can be confusing, and determining if these are your thoughts or intuitive knowledge. I always be thinking it's me, but it's your intuitive knowledge. When you're outdoors, practice this skill by learning to stretch your hearing. Listen to the sounds far off and in the distance, then to the ones closer to you. As you hear all of it together, listen inwardly between the sounds. This is where the intuitive information flows and can be heard. Clairvoyance is inner vision. Some people have the psychic ability known as clairseeing or clairvoyance. It's when intuitive information forms pictures, symbols, words, and colors in your mind. Mind's eye. The reception area is right between your eyebrows. To develop this gift, a single exercise that you can try is to place a small candle safely in front of you. Relax. Take a deep breath. Engage into the flame for a few minutes. Close your eyes and observe the after image. Let it fade. Then repeat this exercise. This will strengthen your third eye area. We have color interpretation. It's often said that human is a rainbow of colors. Every color it has owns a meaning. Each affects us uniquely different and in profound ways. When you're using this tarot intuitively, notice that the spread of cards is one color predominates over another. I recommend that you become familiar with their significance. But be careful to interpret them specifically for each situation, spread, or question. The following rudimentary explanation of the colors of the spectrum. Red symbolizes vitality, passion, temper, strength, and survival, hard work, leadership. Red is associated with the base chakra. Orange, it symbolizes creativity, joyous emotions. Orange is about spreading happiness and joy, emotional pleasure, and vitality. It's also connected with orange associated with the sacral chakra. Yellow symbolizes wisdom, mental force, curiosity, insight, intuition, sensitivity. Yellow is associated with the solar plexus chakra. Green, it symbolizes love, health, balance, compassion, nurturing, abundance. It both calms and refreshes your energy. It's a sign of renewal and growth. Green is associated with the heart chakra. Blue symbolizes communication, speech, expression, imagination, freedom. Blue is associated with the throat chakra. Indigo, it symbolizes inner wisdom, perception, as well as vivid imagination. Indigo is associated with the third eye chakra. And violet, it symbolizes the wisdom, beauty, inspiration, creativity, enlightenment. And one of the most spiritual colors is violet, associated with the crown chakra. White, it symbolizes truth, innocence, and purity. As brown, it symbolizes earth, dependability, stability, and humility. Black, it symbolizes protection, independence, and mystery. And gold symbolizes spirituality, compassion, prosperity, and wisdom. So he got numerology. Numerology is an ancient system that interprets the meaning of numbers and dates, as well as numeric values. Every number vibrates to its own frequency and wavelength. By understanding this, you'll become more aware of the pattern or cycle in your life. Numerology was a contributing source in the divinatory meanings of the tarot cards. When they were created long ago, when you are reading for yourself or for others, note that the same number appears on other cards and other spreads. If so, consider symbolic meaning when interpreting what the cards are telling you. There are 22 major arcana cards and 36 minor cards, the latter of which are divided into 4 groups, and they're numbered from 1 to 9. When using numerology in your readings for the 22 major arcana cards, change double digits to single ones by adding them together. For example, 16 would be represented as 1 plus 6, which equals 7. That enables you to interpret the meaning to a single number. For this case, you would examine what the number 7 symbolizes. When dividing the minor arcana, just use the single number of the card that are drawn. He listed the basic meanings of the following numbers. 1 is beginning, initiation, leadership, self, courage, and willpower. 2 is balance, of duality, partnership, choices, opposition, reflection, and diversity. 3 is the Trinity: harmony, unity, expression, advancement, enthusiasm, and birth. 4 is the structure: foundation, realization, stable situation, and planning. 5 is change: uncertainty, realignment, inconsistency, freedom, and travel. 6 is harmony: appreciation, self-sacrifice, loyalty, and responsibility. 7 is spirituality: inner awareness, mystery, wisdom, and insight, and success. 8 is power: authority, strength, organization, control, and materialism. And 9 is the number of completion: endings, accomplishments, transition, and understanding service. Symbols and images. It's said that the subconscious mind doesn't think without the visual reference. Excuse me. Without visual reference. The artwork associated with the tarot is symbolic, and the scenes, symbols, and shapes and figures have specific meanings. Each card is important to familiarize yourself with the images so they can become absorbed into your intuitive mind, or as I like to refer, your psychic database. You'll quickly develop a keen eye to detail, begin to see other images that resonate specifically with you when you're looking at your cards. During a reading many years ago, I examined a particular card from my own private tarot deck, and I noticed that there was a hint of red in the throat area of the card figure. I asked the person whom I was reading for if she suffered from throat issues. Surprisingly, she said yes. Now, this wasn't a sore throat card, nor is there one. My psychic eye spotted the color, and red is for the throat area. My intuitive mind picked up on that. When doing your reading, let your eyes scan the cards. See if something else jumps out at you. You'll be amazed by just how specific your interpretations will be. I also recommend that you keep a journal to record your dreams and the symbols within them and speak through your subconscious mind. So he goes on to tell us what the major arcana cards are and the minor arcana cards. He gives you different spreads and stuff like that. So I always remember this is the Psychic Tarot Oracle deck by Jhon Holland. I always try to make myself touch every card when I first get them. Look at all of them. Like this one is fertility and it's green. And green symbolize, did the green symbolize? I want to say, red is the throat chakras. You just told us that. I know. See, I gotta make sure I start to make sure I know remember. So, here we go. Green symbolizes love, health, and balance. So, y'all, fertility is a green card. And then we got this card right here is partnerships and alliance. You will start looking at all the cards, and then on the cards, different stuff will start to pop out to you. This card is a black card. It's about disruption. It's another card, black, solitude. Remember, black, it represented independence. Black symbolizes protection, independence, and mystery. This card is patient and movement. Every card got a number on it. So just using the numerology, you start looking at the numbers and see what they mean. This card says rejection and reward. So whenever you get a deck, you always want to, familiarize yourself with the deck. This is a black card. This is solar chakra, sacral chakra, sorry. You familiarize yourself with the deck in the book so that you can understand like what the book is about and what the cards mean and all that kind of stuff. And like usually when you start to develop different psychic abilities and you, like you said, meditate, pray, ask before you do your reading, your intuition somehow transforms your energy into the cards in a story that you know intuitively get told by the cards. So yeah, so I hope that helped a little bit. I just wanted to like kind of go over how I've been learning about what different gifts mean and like about the cards. Let's see what's coming up for the week for the collective. On the white light of God, the angels and ancestors that lead us, that mean us well, the ones that protect us, the African guide us. I ask you to take my bias out of this reading for you to guide us, to protect our minds, the fairy wall of protection, caution of deflection, and give us the answers for our highest good. What is the message for the collective for the upcoming week? What is the message for the collective for the upcoming week? Let's see. Thank you. What is the message for the collective for our upcoming week? One card popped out, so we're going to do that one, and I got 3 other cards. Alright, so the card that popped out was patience and planning. And I'm looking at this card. On the card I see like 2 pillars. And it looked like stuff is falling. I don't know if it's rain or leaves or what. It like might be sun in the background, but from this I'm thinking patience and planning. Whatever you got coming up, whatever's going on that you want, you got some goals in mind, I think it will happen, but you gotta just be patient with it. Write down your goals, plan them, and know that you may have to go through some things before you get to that goal. It's not going to never be easy. So that's why it's going to take a lot of patience and planning. You might have to weather through the storm. So let's see what that means. And we're going to look, so we're going to start to understand. And this is a red border card. So that symbolizes vitality, patience, strength, hard work. And this chakra is the base chakra that it represents. So let's see. What is the meaning behind this card? Patience and planning. Good things come to those who wait. This card signifies I don't know what's going on with my speech. Signifies the qualities of patience and letting go of control. You should now pause, reset, access, and rethink what's in front of you before continuing. The number 7, because the card has a 7 on it. And that's a good number, right? 7. Spiritual number. Number 7, physical card reminds us to reevaluate our goals you are seeking, your finances, even your relationship. Take the time to review each area one by one. As you pause during this period, notice what has worked well for you in the past and not what you or others believe to be true, but in actual positive experiences. While you are at that time of reflecting, you can stand back and plan how you're going to handle potential difficult, complex decisions and situations that may arise in the future. There is no rush when you're planning for a successful future. Look, we got 2 number 7s. This one I got stand your ground. And it's a man, like he's standing on the mountain, like he got some type of victory. It look like the moon or something is shining down on him or something. So whatever you coming up through this week that you don't fall hard for, stand your ground. And that's the purple or violet. I remember those. Let's see. Wisdom, beauty, and inspiration. Oh, make sure. It's a violet border. So violet up, wisdom, beauty, inspiration, creativity, and enlightenment. This card comes at a time when you are being tested and challenged. These may be fierce competition and potential rivals surrounding you in your personal or business life. But know that you have the strength and inner courage to stand your ground no matter how hard or formidable things may appear. Don't surrender or give up control. You have been brave. Stay true to your core values. It is important to remain clear and focused. But you have to stand alone and defend your convictions to the end. Maintain yourself. Health and stay strong that you have an ample supply of energy to endure anything, as this could be a long and arduous yet ultimately hard-won victory. So stand your ground and keep with your convictions and stand in what you believe. Don't let nobody ever knock you off from what you believe. This one says heartache and loss. Heartache and loss. The meaning of this card revolves around disappointment, sorrow, separation could cause upheaval and distress. It takes a lot of strength you have at this moment in order to move past the pain to heal your heart. The love that has been given to another should not be focused on you. Although you might look at this card as being negative, it can act as a tremendous catalyst, encouraging you to move on. The painful experiences life have are valuable as the joyous ones. You may not appreciate the sentiment as the challenging time, but life does have a way of pushing you forward, even though you may not always know the final destination. As you endure this period, learn to not to dwell in the past, but be strong mentally, control and deal with your emotions. Have faith knowing you will get through this. Going through something this week or you got some type of pain or loss, but that you're not alone, Lord. That we all face stuff, but we gotta know that we're not gonna be stuck there. That even though we endure trying times, it's always a lesson in everything, and those lessons can turn into blessings. And the last one I got truth. Man, it's truth. The number is 20. And he on some type of scale. That's true. It's got a black border. Black symbolizes protection, independence, and mystery. And that indigo border with the heartache and loss was about wisdom, perception. It had something to do with the third eye chakra. I'm looking up this last card for us, and that's the truth. The quality of this card illustrates spiritual awakening, clarity, the revelation of truth, and cosmic consciousness. At times, it takes a wake-up call to get your attention to show how far you need to go. This card comes forth to do just that. Evaluation of your past, along with the lessons that you have learned or still need to understand, must now be atop of your priorities. Doing so will enable you to forgive and accept and heal, that you can move forward and be balanced spiritually and with a good spiritual mindset. The Truth card reminds you that a significant change must be made in certain areas in your life, but don't make any decisions at this time. For any choice or alterations must be weighed and evaluated with most careful and wisest judgment. Whatever steps you take now will have far-reaching consequences, more than you'll ever know. Using the powers of the universe and blending them with a little help from the physical world will assist you in bringing about clarity and shift of awareness. What was once not obvious will now be realized and understood. Be honest with yourself and know that be honest with yourself and trust what you know to be true. Traditional card is judgment. So it's kind of like a theme to this, really. You gotta be patient, trust the process. Whatever you're going through, remember, stand your ground. You might have some type of heartache or loss, but that's alright. The truth that will be revealed will help you weigh what's going to happen in your near future. But don't be hasty in making quick decisions. Weigh them and understand what's going on. So this week, just take your time, trust your heart. Don't stay in a bad place if something happens. Know every time something happens that may shake our foundations is not always a bad thing. It could be to lead us to new opportunities, new doors, new situations in our lives. I just want to give y'all how I kind of like interpret my cards, or have, it helps me to understand some of the gifts that's awakening inside you. I always get like oracle cards or things like that. Like this deck here is a message from the angels. I like this deck, and that's by Doreen Virtue. That's a known lady. This was the energy angel oracle cards. Then a Moonology card. Got a lot of decks, but yeah, we can go over some more decks. And I like this deck here, the Soul Truth. Soul Truth by, I want to say, Jhon Holland. These are daily questions that will just transform your life. They have some good messages on there. So you shuffle the cards or whatever, you might come up with anything, but it's always a good message. Like, what expectations do I have that are impossible to meet? It's like the Soul Truth. On the back of this card, the expectations we have are mostly delusional and impossible to meet. When then we experience disappointment with ourselves or with the relationship when they are not met, it's time to dissolve your expectations and replace them with gratitude. Be grateful. You are being summoned to more peace. Peace in your home, your soul is accompanied by trust. It comes when you surrender. Focus only on what you can control. If you expect nothing, if you expect nothing and are grateful for everything, you will experience extreme fulfillment. Got a beautiful message on here. How does my body want to move today? When we move, we change our state and we raise our vibrations. This new elevated state becomes a channel for more energy. Are you moving your body daily? Are you passionate about it? Is it time to try something new? Today's soul action. How does your body want to move today? Listen and joyfully do. So these be having like real good messages. So yeah, I just want to give y'all a little bit of how I look at different decks and everything. And we can go over some more decks, but I just want to do that for y'all. Alright, y'all. Thanks.